Life transforms because of habits. These tiny, almost invisible daily actions are what quietly build your entire future identity. So the goal today isn't just to get you inspired, it's to get you equipped. This is a system, a framework of 10 habits designed for momentum and, this part is key, for rebuilding self-trust. But before we even get into the list of 10, we have to talk about how it avoids that classic self-help trap, which is just burnout. The authors are adamant you do not try all 10 at once.
Wait, hold on. That's a really important point to make right at the top. So if there are 10 habits, but we're not supposed to do them all, how does this actually work? I mean, how do you not get completely overwhelmed?
They call it the stacking methodology. And it's simple. You pick just one habit, just one. You focus on that until it feels automatic, like completely boring, like brushing your teeth. Only then, once it's second nature, do you stack the next small habit on top of it. It's all about building behavioral inertia slowly. It's a consistency over intensity.
Okay, that makes it sound a lot less like a giant to-do list and more like a patient construction project. So let's start that construction. The blueprint says winning the day starts with winning the morning. And the first simplest victory it suggests is habit 2, make your bed. Now, I have to be honest, that sounds almost too tiny. How can something that simple be a cornerstone for rebuilding your life?
It's the psychology behind it that's so powerful. It's not about how the blanket looks. The blueprint explicitly calls it your first win of the day. When you finish that small action, you send a message to your brain. I started something and I finished it. It's a complete loop. Behavioral scientists call them micro-competence loops. Every time you complete a task, no matter how small, you get a little hit of dopamine. That's the reward chemical.
So you're starting the day from a place of success, not chaos. You're already proving to yourself you're someone who follows through.
Exactly. And the environment itself matters. The source really emphasizes this. A messy room is a constant, low-level visual stressor that drains your energy. A clean, orderly space, starting with your bed, gives you back that calm. And after that first win, your brain immediately starts looking for the next one. It wants more of that feeling, which makes the next task just a little bit easier.
Which brings us to protecting that feeling, that clarity. The blueprint says most people sabotage their entire day within the first 10 minutes.
Right. And that leads us to maybe the most crucial habit in the whole system. Habit 4, protect your first hour. It's called sacred for a reason. The moment you grab your phone and start scrolling, you're immediately in a reactive state. You're responding to other people's emergencies, their agendas, their notifications, before you've even checked in with yourself.
You're giving away your best energy first thing.
You are. So you have to protect that hour. The rule is 0 distractions. No phone, no email, no social media. You use that hour to build yourself. Plan your day, meditate, read, stretch, anything that centers you.
Okay, but let me push back on that for a second. For a lot of people, especially working remotely, that first hour is the only time to get ahead of urgent emails before the meetings start. That feels like a real conflict.
It is a real conflict, and the blueprint acknowledges that friction. But it frames the choice as a long-term investment. Think about it. When you jump into reactive emails, you're giving away your peak creative energy to someone else's problems. If you spend that first hour on your own clarity and priorities, you'll be so much more effective for the next 7 hours of work.
So it's a short-term discomfort for a long-term gain in focus.
A massive gain. And that connects perfectly to habit 1. Wake up before the world. It's not about becoming a 4 a.m. person. It's just 30 to 60 minutes earlier than you do now.
That's the window you need.
That's the window. It's your quiet space. The world is silent. The notifications aren't pinging yet. For that little slice of time, life belongs only to you. It's your advantage. You get to think and plan peacefully before the day starts pulling you everywhere.
So we've got momentum, we've got clarity. Now we need to fuel the system, right? The mind and body habits. Let's talk about habit number 6, drink water. We've all heard this one before. Why is it so important here?
It's about the specific chemical timing. Most of us wake up dehydrated.
Yeah.
And when you wake up, your cortisol, the stress hormone, is naturally high to get you moving. If the first thing you do is drink coffee on an empty, dehydrated system, you can spike that cortisol even higher. That leads to anxiety and, that inevitable afternoon crash.
Okay, so water first changes the chemical reaction.
It does. A big glass of water before any caffeine or sugar. It gently wakes up your metabolism, it rehydrates your brain, and it helps buffer that stress response. You're lubricating the engine before you redline it.
And what about moving the engine? Habit 5, move your body. The source uses really strong language here. It says sitting all day quietly destroys your energy and focus.
Because stagnation is the enemy of cognition. And it doesn't mean you need to hit the gym for an hour. A walk, some stretching, even dancing in your kitchen for a few minutes. The key is blood flow. When you move, you increase blood flow to your prefrontal cortex. That's the part of your brain that handles planning, focus, and self-control.
So it's literally waking up the decision-making part of your brain.
Literally. You get three huge results. One, your mind gets sharper from the oxygen boost. Two, your energy rises naturally, so you're less reliant on caffeine. And three, you get another win. A small physical victory makes the mind feel more disciplined for everything else.
Which sets us up for what seems like the most uncomfortable habit. Habit number 3, do one challenging task.
Yeah, this one is designed specifically to fight the comfort zone. The core idea is simple. Comfort is the enemy of growth. So every day, you deliberately choose one small thing that creates resistance.
So it doesn't have to be some huge dramatic thing.
Not at all. It could be a 60-second cold shower. It
Oh.
could be making that phone call you've been dreading, or just studying a subject that feels really dense. The task itself doesn't matter as much as the willingness to face discomfort. It's training for your brain to stop running away from hard things. And when you do one hard thing early, everything else that day just feels lighter.
That's a powerful reframe. Okay, let's shift to the habits that build that long-term identity. Back to the environment with habit 7, keep your space clean.
Right, because your external world is a mirror of your internal one. When your space is clean, your mind can finally breathe. It reduces that chronic background static. And the action is tiny. Just 5 or 10 minutes a day to close the loop. Tidy your desk, sure, but also your digital space. Delete old files, clear your desktop, get notifications to 0. These small acts send a powerful message to your brain. I'm in control.
I love the next one. Habit 8, learn for 10 minutes a day. It feels so accessible. You don't need an expensive course or a huge time commitment.
And this is where the power of compounding really kicks in. 10 minutes a day. That doesn't sound like much, but over a year, that's about 60 hours of focused learning.
Wow, okay.
It's more than just gathering facts. It's fuel. It's fuel for your mindset, your confidence, your creativity. The blueprint is clear on this. The person who learns every day becomes unstoppable over time.
And that consistency leads to what might be the most important habit of all. Habit 9, keep one small promise to yourself. This feels like the bedrock.
It is the bedrock. The whole system rests on this. Because if you can't trust your own word on the small things, like saying you'll take a short walk and then actually doing it, how can you ever trust yourself to handle the big things?
Self-trust isn't something you just decide to have. You have to earn it from yourself.
You earn it with evidence. By making one small promise and seeing it through, no matter what, you are building the evidence that you are reliable. Your identity slowly becomes that of a person who follows through. Your confidence stops being fragile and becomes real.
And that's the identity we want to carry into sleep. Which brings us to the final piece, habit 10. End your day with 3 wins. So many of us do the opposite, right? We just replay our failures.
It's our brain's natural negative bias. This habit is about deliberately rewiring that. Before sleep, you write down 3 wins, and they can be tiny. You handled a tough email well, you stuck to one of your habits, you showed up. This small act shifts your focus from failure to progress. You go to bed with a sense of gratitude and quiet confidence. Over time, you're literally retraining your brain to spot opportunities during the day instead of just obstacles.
It's an incredible system when you see it all laid out. From making your bed in the morning to logging your wins at night, it's one interconnected loop.
It is. It's a feedback loop. Physical order creates mental calm. Mental calm creates space for growth. Growth builds self-trust. It's all designed to work together.
But to go back to where we started, the key is not to try to build this whole machine at once.
Absolutely not. We have to end on that critical point. Remember the stacking methodology. Pick one thing. Master it until you are that habit. Then, and only then, add the next one. That patient, deliberate approach is what makes this whole blueprint sustainable for 2026 and for life.
So it's never about perfection. It's just about that quiet, relentless consistency. The message couldn't be clearer. 2026 isn't going to transform you, but your habits will.
And you have that choice right now. You can walk into the new year with the same old routines, just hoping things get better. Or you can walk in with intention, rebuilding your life one small action at a time, and you don't have to wait. Start with one thing today. Drink a glass of water. Make your bed. Just one thing.
Because that one tiny action today slowly becomes your identity tomorrow. So if you commit to just one of these habits, what version of yourself are you choosing to build? That choice, it really does begin right now.